not really crypto educated, that are using their tools, which are credit cards. And yeah, so it's still in concept stage. We are still doing a lot of research and talking with many different people from this space with projects that could be interested in this. So yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's called BridgeDAO, and it basically employs a way for smart contracts to control physical actors or off-chain assets or anything that's not currently available for control of smart contracts. So you will remember that in 2014, when Vitalik was presenting Ethereum for the first time, he explained how Bitcoin, when first created, was actually testing these two ideas at once. First one is internet money, and the second one is Bitcoin, decentralized database, or blockchain. And there is a necessity. Why are these two technologies actually married together? So if you want to have a decentralized currency or internet money, you need to have security. And to have security, you need incentives. And for decentralized database, you need security. For security, you need incentives. And best way to provide incentives is to have a currency. And it's also other way. So if you want to have currency, you need to have a database. And this database has to have certain properties, like you can add to it, but you cannot take out of it. And yeah, so these two ideas really created a lot of value. But it wasn't really until Ethereum in 2014 that blockchain got some bigger attention. Before that, there was pretty much a lot of new currencies created after Bitcoin. So Vitalik said, okay, let's focus on this technology, this decentralized database technology, and instead of having only currency transaction confirmations, let's try to do something else. Why wouldn't we let our nodes to actually execute code? And this created a whole vast of opportunities, which we now actually use through our smart contracts. So these two approaches actually created a lot of value, like billions of dollars of value were created on top of Bitcoin, then even more on top of Ethereum. And I believe if we use this third part of both of these technologies, which is the network of participants, we can unleash even more value. And this third part is the network of participants. So what is the network of participants? In Bitcoin, those are miners. Their role is just to confirm transactions, and they do this job very, very well. And that's why, because of this, we have Bitcoin as a secure network, and it works so far. On Ethereum, these are miners, or soon-to-be validators, and they execute code, and they provide a service of code execution. But what if we abstract this mechanism that makes all of these people do things according to rules? What if we try to make them do something else, or let them do something else, and of course earn money from it, from doing it the same way as Ethereum miners earn money from confirming transactions and executing code? So there are already some existing projects that are trying this approach, that are employing a network of decentralized actors or participants. So I will just explain shortly some of them and to what extent they're actually using this approach. And in the end, I will explain Paperclip Lite, which is the solution that we are trying to build for financial payments with fiat. So Kleros is a trusted third party that employs a number of decentralized participants who serve as an arbitration party for any contract. And it doesn't rely on one small group of experts or anything. It pulls a huge number of providers, like jurors, who then decide and provide this arbitration. Witnet is automated software, so it enables nodes to just read what is the content of some websites and to report this content to the bridges or to the clients who are actually interested in finding out this data and using it later on for whatever the purpose they have. And this is also a decentralized network, so anybody can run this node and anybody can actually be part of the network. Chainlink is very similar to Witnet. It just enables a lot more. So it's not only this predefined headless browser software, but it actually allows these nodes to do many different things. And they say that they have the ability to operate fully. This is a fully decentralized network, unlike other Oracle networks. And what it does, so smart contracts create these service level agreements. Then oracles are competing which one will provide the information, and based on their performance, they get reputation. But it's more, what it doesn't do is doesn't give you control of this external actor. So you cannot really tell them to do something and be sure that they will do it. You can actually probably only ask them to give you some information. Lately, there was this thing called wrapped Bitcoin, and it has similar properties. So far, when the smart contract was trying to control some Bitcoin, which is off-chain asset, it couldn't really do it unless you rely on a centralized custodian. And with wrapped Bitcoin, they're trying to create more decentralized network where you have more custodians, you have merchants, which are the interface for you as a user. So there is more layers which are supposed to create more security for you, because custodians cannot create the tokens for the assets that is deposited. Only merchants can do it, and merchants, if they want to actually be malicious, they have to do it all together. So and unfortunately, it relies a lot on the reputation of these providers. So it's not really trustless. And now the project that we are trying to create with this, with our approach, is called Paperclip Lite. And what it does, it provides trustless fiat interface. So financial institutions are our nodes. We create a decentralized network of financial institutions or anybody who is actually in control of a bank account. These bank accounts then are, we put them into control of smart contracts. How we do this? Well, we ensure that these banks or other financial institutions are somehow held to their promises. So what we do is we take stakes from them. They put collateral in DAI or in any other crypto asset into our smart contract. And this collateral is used to ensure that these providers of bank accounts never try to cheat the system. What happens if they actually try to cheat the system? Well, a dispute will be raised between smart contract and this provider, the bank account or whoever, and we'll have to use a decentralized arbitration network like Kleros or some other tool to actually find out where is the money. So when you have banks who provide bank accounts for smart contracts to use them, you can have credit card payments for smart contract services. You can have SEPA wire transfers, so smart contract can actually initiate a transaction from a bank account to another bank account from, for example, to pay salaries or expenses. Also, you can hold and spend fiat without converting to crypto. So this is how it's supposed to, how it currently works. The current flow of any transaction where a user initially holds fiat. So smart contract is in Ethereum and it cannot really receive fiat. So user has to go to exchange. Well, first he has to learn about the cryptocurrencies, which one to use. Then needs to find about exchanges, register on exchange, do KYC, send the funds to exchange, pay the fee, convert to cryptocurrency, pay the fee, withdraw to their wallet, or first create the wallet on MetaMask, then withdraw. So it's a painful process, and this is the main reason why we don't see dApps and DAOs taking off in terms of usage. So with Paperclip Lite, this all goes away. There is only a messaging system between Paperclip and the smart contract that uses the system. And on the other hand, Paperclip also provides communication between customers and the suppliers, or the customers and Paperclip network, which are these banks and other nodes. So in our initial design, any user, so any person, any company which owns a bank account could actually become part of the network, and this could make it actually really decentralized. But there's also legal implications of this, and probably in many jurisdictions only financial institutions or some other kind of licensed entities will be able to do this. So what we provide is a dashboard, which is just a user-friendly interface for these bank account owners or nodes. Consumer is bank API clients and scripts that trigger actions. So we are supposed to be able, if a bank wants to provide this service, it has to open access for our APIs. Whisperbook is just an order book of desired transactions which users or smart contracts create. Watcher is a read-only access tool for client accounts. So what it does when smart contract gets paid. So let's say, are you familiar with Kickback? So when you go to Kickback, you need to open your MetaMask and make the RSVP. With us, you open Kickback, and there is just a widget where you can put your credit card details and make the payment. When this payment goes through bank account, the watcher reads it and provides this information in real time to all the nodes, all the interested parties. And this widget is the ramp. It's just an interface for user to make the payment. And in the end, we have ping, which is daemon that sends out the node's proof of life. Basically, this way we can know which node is actually live and which is just out of network. And what is BridgeDAO? Well, Paperclip is implementation in fiat transactions. But we are trying to distinguish or divide the tools that we are building that could be reused in any other case, or which could be reused in another version of it or something similar. So BridgeDAO is a project where we try to create this reusable approach for participant role expansion. So this network of participants and whatever else they could do except for not only the computation. It's a smart contract on the Ethereum network, and it provides simple smart contract interface. So any smart contract that uses the network could simply use it. It also will uses these guarantees by collateral, so anybody can reuse this. And it provides all of this as a shared infrastructure and shared standards and protocols. And we have a repository on GitHub where you can read the document that describes how Paperclip Lite is working, and also we have a technical white paper, so you can read more about it there. Yeah, how much time was that? We had time for questions. Sorry for my yeah, I'm a bit nervous, so yeah, I hope that's not too bad. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Okay, I have a question for people in the audience. How many of you have a service that's based on Ethereum, which users are probably gonna rather pay with credit card than with crypto? Or you could approach bigger market if you could enable credit card payments? Okay. And do you have any solutions for this that are trustless? No. Okay. Any other questions except for mine?
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit about how you interact with the SIPA system, with the banking system? I didn't really get it. I mean, I understand what you were trying to achieve, but I didn't really understand how.
Yeah, so bank is supposed to create Yeah, well, so first, I'm not a technical person, so I can't really go into technical details. But the banks that want to provide this service are supposed to create, first they're supposed to run a node. The node is the tool that communicates with blockchain. And on the other hand, payment processors are the ones who help facilitate the transactions between users who pay with credit card and the bank. That's the high level.
So basically, the tough task of exchanging fiat for crypto.
Oh, yeah. So. Well, the bank is the one that executed the transaction. One important thing that we are doing with Paperclip Lite is we are trying to decrease the, I would say, compliance issues or legal questions. So what we do is we narrow it down to strictly no crypto. So you can provide service, you can sell RSVPs on kickback. You can, for example, execute transactions that initiate smart contracts. You can pay for that so you can pay gas fee with fiat. And anything else that is a service, but not cryptocurrency transactions and conversion, because that creates all like a bunch of different problems that, and also it creates a misalignment of interest between banks and the smart contract users. So what we do is we found this common ground for the banks, for the current financial system, and for smart contracts and blockchain. And this is where the ground is where smart contracts are actually better in providing value and providing service than some other traditional way of providing this service, some other, I don't know, companies or software or something else. You had a question? No? Okay, thank you very much. And catch me here behind if you want to.